So these are going to be like ultimate problem fixers. Some sort of instruments for you to work with, like spoolie, beauty blender, concealer. Welcome loves to my YouTube channel. My name is VAssaOlga. In today's video we're going to be doing really nice tutorial where I will be talking and covering lots of issues and problems and addressing some mistakes that you might face when you do your makeup looks. As a matter of fact, you might not know how to fix some certain mistakes, so you have to take off your whole makeup look and then just redo this. If you have this problem, I got you covered. I will show you how to fix my mistakes, and you don't really need to take off the whole makeup look. Well guys, if you're interested, then please stay tuned and let's get started. I used a little bit of oil when I got out of the shower, so I will probably not use any more moisturizers because it's just going to be too much in my opinion. So I'm going to my sunscreen. It's just like per usual. I'm not going to use anything crazy, and a little bit of face primer, though you can skip face primer. I will be skipping face primer today because I haven't noticed like a huge difference if I have this on or if I just don't. The only foundation that I could find that was like from Wet n Wild. I've been having this for such a long period of time. This is a stick foundation, so it's gonna be like, it's gonna give you full coverage. So much coverage, but it's a little bit darker than my skin tone. It's definitely just giving a little bit different, like its discoloration is a little bit kind of obvious. And in case you have the same problem, you can add a little bit of color corrector. In fact, I have a video on this topic, so if you don't know how to fix some problems with your foundation, you can always go to some different shades and different colors. They're going to neutralize the main shade that is looking off. Or the second option is going to be concealer. So you can use like really light concealer and apply this almost everywhere except for probably your cheekbones and a little bit over your forehead in this area. So when you have so much concealer, light concealer, it's definitely gonna just even up the tone. I will probably grab a little bit of this blue shade. Blue is the great color, or it's like velvet color, so it's great shade to neutralize yellow. It's blending really well into my foundation, and it's given the same shade as my neck. I don't really want to bring the same foundation underneath my eyes. If I put this underneath my eyes, it's going to be too much coverage, and if I have that much coverage, then it's going to crease really fast. My point is that you would need to add this gradually, not at once, but a little bit here, a little bit there. If you feel like it's a little bit still orangey, then you can always add a little bit more of this color. I will leave down below in the description box the link where I talk about the colors, how you can fix them, different types of foundation, different types of products that can help you with this problem. There's like no actual problem in concealer, but again, if you have the same problem with your concealer and discoloration, then you will probably need to go to this colors that I showed you from this Makeup Revolution palette and then just add a little bit of the color that you need. I actually don't really have any concealers that are too like off. And by the way, while I'm letting this concealer to sit a little bit, in case you're using some like really dark concealer shade, then my recommendation is to add a little bit, like that much, small dots, and then you will go with the foundation brush and then diffuse it like that. All right, everything is right in place. Now I want to set my face with a little bit of translucent powder. I guess this step is just like, you can't mess up with this step. Now we're gonna talk about contour. In case you messed up with your contour, it's just like too much. So let me show you what means too much. We have like a harsh contour. Harsh, it's not blended, it's not looking good. If you feel like it's too much contour, then probably you're gonna have too much blush as well. You can see that it's crazy. I mean, I would probably never apply that much over, but we're just doing this to show you. I'm doing this to show you how you can fix it, like in case something went wrong. If this is like probably your first ever time doing makeup and you ended up like that. So it's crazy. It's a huge amount of powders. What is going to be my recommendation number one? So the first recommendation is going to be grab the same powder, the same brush, grab the powder, tap off a little bit, and then just place it on top. So this way you're going to tone this down a little bit. Look at this. It's looking much more blended. It's just, of course, it's still not perfect, but we mattified the harshness. And it's just like, it's still harsh, but it's not super harsh. The next step, I'm going to my highlighter. With this step, you can be really generous. I mean, like, I know that someone might look a little bit glowy, extra glowy. That's why I will actually add a lot of my highlighter, and I'm gonna show you how I fix everything. If it's too much highlighter, too much powders, like contour, blush, what do we do in this case? We are going finally to a setting spray, and this is like a crucial step from my perspective. You would need to do a lot of the setting spray, not a lot, but just like, look at this. Wet Beauty Blender is gonna smooth everything out. Of course, it's gonna take a lot of this color, not a lot, but some of this color. So it's gonna put these powders in place. It's gonna tone everything down. The scent spray is just taking off a little bit of color. I love this routine and this hack. I'm gonna grab a primer. I saw Merlin Steele, if I'm not mistaken, she's using a toner, like liquid toner. I use a primer, so I guess anything that is just having this fixing material, except for scent spray and fixing spray, is gonna work out for you guys. So I'm gonna spread the product in my palms and then press it against my skin. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just making sure that everything is just like locked in place. I would create some sort of shape. Okay, let's do it a little bit higher. I would grab a spoolie, drag this down like that, so it's not really obvious. And of course, it might take a little bit of your foundation, but mostly I'm fading the line. And then what you're gonna do next is gonna grab like your beauty blender, wet beauty blender, and then place it on top, like over this line, and then just dab, 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 dab until you feel like it's almost invisible, like it faded away. Okay guys, let's be real. Sometimes if I have like this weird marks and they're like too long, I will just use my finger and tap it with a finger. I will probably not go to my beauty blender. So in case you have the same issue or the same problem, fingers are gonna be handy at this point. I literally try my best to mess up, but today of all days, when you need a mess, you can get a mess. I always mess with my eyeliner. It's just such a huge problem. And let's just bring this color to like out. So I don't really like this shape. What I do, I'm gonna go to the same trick as I did with my brows. I'm gonna grab a wet beauty blender and tap the color. So it's gonna be tricky with like lavender, soft lavender color. You might not see any problems, but with like black eyeshadows, it's gonna be rough. I will tell you, this is gonna be rough. So the best thing to fix this, if you have some black eyeshadows and they're like not coming out, though I still have some like really soft eyeshadows there, take it off with a beauty blender like that a little bit, and it's gonna take some color off. And then I will go to my concealer, grab a little bit, like a small dot. You can go to a brush or you can use your finger and then just tap it. You used so much beauty blender that you're practically not with lots of powder, so it's not gonna give any like powdery feeling. Same goes with an eyeliner. I will show you in a sec how to fix an eyeliner. This liner is not really good. I don't know, something like that. Probably something like that. First of all, you will need to let it dry completely before you do anything. You will be needing makeup remover, any makeup remover, and some cotton ones. And then we're gonna start with taking off the liner with tapping motions. That's gonna be my first suggestion, and then pat it with a clean side. I will do a little bit more of this like black eyeliner. There's like a small hint of this black color, so I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the same makeup remover, and I'm gonna start, you know, just cleaning this area a little bit more. We're going again with a little bit of primer, just a tiniest bit, that much. You don't really need a lot of primer. And then you will just probably place the same eyeshadows that were in the outer corner. A little bit of the color, you know, and then we're going to the same routine and the same trick that I showed you. I'm gonna use a little bit of beauty blender, so we're gonna smooth out all these powders from my eyeshadows, and then I'm going to my concealer and using like a small drop, like that much, nothing crazy. And then I'm gonna use my finger. I will set this with some color, And again, you can use a little bit of finger, like tapping. There's a lot of tapping going on when you are working with some mistakes and with some problems. In case you have any sort of problem underneath, it's gonna be fixed with the same thing. A little bit of spoolie, you can take it off with the spoolie, and then use a little bit of beauty blender. And if your beauty blender doesn't work, then go back to your concealer. So these are gonna be like ultimate problem fixers, some sort of instruments for you to work with, like spoolie, beauty blender, concealer. You have to get rid of this pigment, get rid of this color first, and only then you can go to your concealer. See, there's like a small hint of this black mascara on top. We are gonna try to fix this one more time. I'm just gonna show you what I mean. I'm gonna take off a little bit with the spoolie. Look at this. It's getting off easily. And to emphasize the color, so we took off a little bit, I'm just gonna place the shade on top. Well guys, it's funny to say, but when I was doing the left eye, I actually messed up, so I had to use this trick that I showed you in this video, how to fix this problem. Now I did off camera the problem with the lip. So I overlined this half of the lip, and I will go over the liner. But while it's wet, we're gonna, first of all, with my finger, I'm just gonna take off a little bit of the color, tapping off any crazy color that might have happened. And then I will go with my pencil one more time. So it's much better to see the guidelines when you have the lipstick on. And then I will go to my concealer one more time, and I will grab a little bit over my brush. So I'm not gonna place the drops around my lips. Do something like that. Okay, now I wanna wipe off any leftovers, and then I will try to clean the rest. Okay guys, and that is the final result. I hope this video was really useful. In case you have any other questions and problems and probably mistakes that you really just can't fix and you have to redo lots of stuff, let me know in the comments. Ask me in the comments as well, and I will definitely film a part 2 video. But I try to cover so many questions, so many problems that I literally face on a daily basis from time to time. That's why guys, just like let me know what is your opinion and what you think. So I'm gonna see you in my next video hopefully guys. Love you so much. Bye bye.